Hi, my name is Sylvia, and this is day 22 of me showing up and talking about whatever I want. It's an opportunity for me to take up space, as well as an experiment I'm doing so I can kind of desensitize myself to the act of putting myself out there authentically. One thing I want to talk about is one interesting thing about having complex PTSD, especially complex PTSD is rooted in childhood, mostly because the child's mind is not fully formed, and without having any proper support, we end up internalizing a ton of messed up understandings of people and the world around us and the way we relate to the world around us, right? And I think that other people probably struggle with that as well. One of the funniest things I find about complex PTSD is that in order to get better with complex PTSD, you need to end up ultimately trusting someone else. I believe trusting a therapist who can help you through the act of understanding what your triggers are and understanding how you relate to the world, right? You need to ultimately trust another person for you to you need to trust another person to learn how to trust people, but your diagnoses has to do with your ability to trust people. So it's like a mind loop, and I find that to be interesting. So anyone out there who is in therapy, who is realizing, I'm not listening to my therapist, I beg you to reevaluate maybe your relationship with people and safety. One thing for me is I realized that even though my therapist told me a bunch of tools, if I didn't see immediate results, or if it didn't help me as fast as I wanted it to, right, I almost deemed it it's not useful, right? And what does that mean? Ultimately, what I'm saying is my own lived experience of one or two times of doing something is more impactful for me, or is what I'm deciding to take as a truth, over my therapist who has been doing this for years, has offered this solution to a lot of people and have succeeded. So one thing I started to realize on my own journey of actually recovering my nervous system, and unfortunately I did it alone, because I couldn't afford my therapist at the time. Well, one thing I realized was I was essentially doing all the things that my therapist had told me to do for years, but because it was coming from me, I trusted it more. And that was just such a weird realization.